What's going on? Get it out the mud group, YouTube viewers. So today we were checking out and doing a little test flight with the Skydio2 drone. I just had the beacon on me. First time I've had it out with an ATV. I've had it out with my Jeep before, and I wanted to get some shots of the land here and the overview, and to see how well it would do tracking me on the little Honda 250 Recon. Sweet little ride here. It's for the kids, but we got some 25s on there. Got it snorkeled out. Good little quad. Right now I just have the beacon on me, and this drone pretty much flies itself. It's a pretty amazing drone. You'll see in this video that we had a couple mishaps, and I got worried a few different times, but it always seemed to pull itself out of a sticky situation with my help, of course. And we're talking about $1,000 drone, so when it gets lost or loses you tracking you, of course you get a little freaked out. But this drone's pretty amazing. I mean, right now I'm doing a few different settings on the beacon, and it's just GPS to just a little bitty, it's not even a remote, it's or a controller. It's basically just a little GPS beacon that you keep on you in your pocket. There's handlebar mounts you can get for it, and you can change the view that it follows you from, front, back, left, rear, and it will do a couple little program tricks with that beacon. It's got a few different buttons you can press to make it do a couple different features. It will also hook to your phone. You can fly it with your phone, but I will be getting a controller for this drone where I can take control of it all together. But as far as if you want to get some drone footage of you riding or doing different things, and this pretty much flies itself and avoids most obstacles. It's not 100% going to avoid everything every time. Leafless branches, little bitty twigs are very dangerous with this drone. Try not to fly it in the wintertime around trees and stuff. This is the first time I really had it out around a lot of trees now that it's summertime, and we got more foliage on the branches, so it's more capable of avoiding those branches. And right now I'm just stopping here and there and just kind of doing the left and right, front, back feature. It's just arrows, and you can have it follow you from different directions. And we're going to take off here on the little 250. And at one point I get the 250 up pretty much full speed just to see how well this drone can keep up with me, and it does pretty amazing, as you'll see later on in this video. This video is about 17 minutes long, but it was Mother's Day. Took my mom out to my Uncle Mark's pond, do a little fishing. Me, the fiance, Vanessa, the kids, and it was just a perfect time to get this drone out and really put it to the test. I haven't really put it to the test like I wanted to up until today. And here we are. We're getting on it a little bit, and I'm kind of hitting the plus and minus button on there. Different distances it can follow you. So of course you got a plus and a minus, and plus it'll fly further out, minus it'll get close to you. But there's sensors all the way around this drone, top and bottom, and it keeps itself from colliding into things. And you're not able to see it because the drone's pretty much focusing on me, but I wish I would have had the controller. There's a hawk flying around. You'll catch the shadow of this hawk on the landscape. And at one point I thought the hawk was going to attack the drone. It was real curious. And you'll see that shadow of that hawk right there. You can see that right above me. It's circling around. I thought it was going to attack the drone, but it never did. So now we're going to get into some tighter situations here with the drone, and I got it switched over to follow me from the front, flying itself. So I swing it around to the back. You see I grab the beacon and just hit the back button and it'll swing around. So now we're going to see how well it's going to do ducking and diving in between these trees. Without the controller, it's hard to go into certain spots that are tight because it avoids things on its own. And sometimes it don't know where to go or how to get through tight-knit areas because it's trying to avoid a crash. That's the big thing about this drone. That's a big plus, but it's also a downfall. So if you want to fly it through, say, a car window and go out the other side of the car, I really don't believe you could do that with this drone because it's going to stop itself. Even if you have the controller where you're flying it yourself, you have control of this drone. Even with the controller, it will avoid obstacles at all costs as best it can. Like I said, it's a good and a bad thing, and you'll see why here in just a minute. So I'm pretty impressed, you know. So we're gonna shoot up the hill here in just a minute and try to really get into some tight areas. I didn't realize how tight it got up into some of these spots, but it was a good test for this drone. So here we're getting pretty tight and it's doing a damn good job. You see it's staying right with me. And we're really going to get into some thick stuff right here, and I got to get turned around. And this is one area right up in here I thought I was going to lose the drone because it got confused on where to go. You see, it's just goes right around the branches. It does a pretty good job. Now right here it gets really tight. And I get turned around and see, I wanted it to go under that branch there and it wanted to do it, but it also is trying to avoid hitting that branch, and this is where it gets confused. So it just backs away, shoots off to the left, shoots up above the trees and out of my line of sight, and I'm freaking out because I'm thinking I'm fixing to lose the drone. So it's trying to find me with the GPS and it's looking everywhere now. And now that it's got up and away from me, it's having trouble finding me. So I jump off the quad here. No, I don't. It finds me again right here. That's later on, I think 2 different times. I have to jump off and kind of walk towards it. This may be one of those times right here. But it went through here the first time, and now it's kind of confused because it don't want to hit nothing. So it gets really close to the branches and it goes through there, but it didn't go through where it came before. So it does have its moments, but with all that being said, even doing what it's doing now, it never hit nothing, and it's all up in the trees flying itself. So yeah, this is where I get off, and I try to walk towards it because it's GPS. So its GPS is not necessarily got its sight on me, but it's locked onto a GPS signal. So I see now that I got it back. So I'm trying to take off, and here it picks me back up. So that was a scary moment. Like I said, that's $1,000. Just you can't see it, you can hear it, and you're just praying to God that it comes back to you. So this is where I really turn up on the quad and pretty much full speed, rocket back down the hill, and I'm just going to take off and pretty much give the quad all it's got and see if it can keep up with me. And once again, it kind of just glitches out right here. Looks a totally different direction, and I have to stop once again, and it picks me back up. But the firmware and the software, that updates all the time, so it's good to make sure you got everything updated, and I did at this point. So it locked back on me, and I'm fixing to just take off right here full speed. And it's staying right with me. It's hard to tell when it's up in the air like that how fast you're really going on the video, but I'm moving here. So I bring it in close to me, and you can really see that, I mean, it's right on me. It's sticking with me. Very impressed. So I start to get a lot more comfortable with the drone. You try not to look back, but it's hard. It's hard not to look back and make sure that it's right there with you, especially as much as this costs. You definitely don't want to lose it. When it loses line of sight and GPS signal gets lost, the beacon will beep and let you know. And if you have it hooked to your phone, it will also beep and let you know. So here's another tight area. I thought we were going to get through this flawlessly with no problem, and it seems like we were, and then whoop, it just does something weird, glitches out and spins around. So I think after watching the video and flying this a few times, it seems like when I hesitate and slow down and sometimes come to a stop, then the drone does the same thing, and then it seems like that's kind of when it has these glitchy moments. Now see that I'm back moving, I jump off the quad and I'm walking back to it because I hear it. I know it's lost because the beacon's letting me know, GPS signal lost. So here I am, walk back to it, kept a steady motion. It picked me right back up and stayed right back on me. So after that, those couple little situations there, it seems like to me, when you hesitate, you stop when you're in motion, especially going through tight areas. And if you slow down and stop and hesitate, then I think the drone's going to do the same thing. So the best thing, I believe, is to just give it your full trust if you can, if your mind will allow you to do so, but it's hard, and keep pushing, and don't hesitate. So right here we're getting it. We're gonna give it all it's got, and this is when it really shows out right here. It really zips and zooms and goes around some things, some power lines, which is sketchy. Also, it'll tell you, the owner's manual and stuff, to try to stay away from power lines because it has a hard time picking those up with the sensors just because they're so small. But right here, I just pretty much give it hell. Boom! It zooms around. It's shooting around the trees. It's ducking and diving. And it just really gets impressive right here. Flipped at the bird a little bit. and it's just on me, man. And I'm just really amazed with this drone and what it can do. Look at that, zips around the light pole. Get her up on 3 wheels here a little bit, take off, and it's just gonna take off right with me. It's really impressive drone. I mean, you don't have to worry about trying to learn to fly this drone. It's just gonna do its thing, give you the shots you need when you need them, and without all the hassle of learning to fly a drone. Shoots around that tree. It's pretty cool. But I'll definitely get the controller for the times when I want to take control of the drone and fly it myself. And you get up to, I believe, a little over 2 miles of range when you have the controller, which, I mean, that's all I care to do. I'm not trying to fly crazy far with this thing and get it lost, but there is times when I would like to fly over and away from some things and kind of see what's on the other side of some, different terrain. But pretty impressed. And then we have one more scare here. The battery's getting low. I'm hyped, just got a good test flight in, bragging, and I hit droney mode, which is 2 taps on the beacon, and it kind of flies away as far as the signal will allow it. So you can really get that cinematic landscape view. And it's going. It'll go a ways back, on its own. Well, right here it ducks down. It gets, and it's beeping on the beacon. Battery low, land soon. And this will fly back to you, and it comes back over the trees. But man, there for a minute I was freaking out, because I thought it was fixing to go down. But the awesome thing about this drone, where you take off from, when the battery's getting low, it will automatically find its way back to that location. And it was the perfect little test flight.